5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Yeah, okay, welcome back, everybody. Here we are. We're live. You're not gonna hear this live, but we're live right now. And we successfully put out our 10th episode. And we were talking this week. So who are we? Who is the Shinebox production crew? And what does it mean? I don't know. A lot of people don't know what it means. It's kind of a what would you call it? A pop culture Goodfellas kind of saying. But I went out. I was telling Joe earlier, to be inclusive, I found a definition from the Urban Dictionary, which I don't use very often, but you can't find definitions like this outside the Urban Dictionary. And to be even more inclusive, I found a transitive verb. So this is going to be a trans verb for Shinebox, okay? And the transitive verb for Shinebox is shineboxing. Didn't know there was such a thing. There's a past tense is shineboxed.
I just shuddered in transverb phobia.
Well, yeah, there's probably some transverb phobia out there. Basically, to repeatedly taunt and insinuate another person on a sensitive topic to the point that the insulted party becomes violently angry. Okay. Now, obviously, we're taking that tongue in cheek. We don't want to get anybody violently angry. Not that they aren't already. Billy Batts shineboxes Tommy in Goodfellas by continuing to refer to Tommy in the past. In spite of Tommy's repeated requests for Batts to stop, this reaches a climax when the pretense to be respectful is shattered as Batts yells loud enough. And I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna play it. How's that? He at the end of the
intercourse.
The intercourse they had.
Yeah.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
And that's where the Shinebox name came from. So that's basically what we're about. It's an insult. Let's face it. That's what it is. It maybe even a colloquialism. I don't know. I got to look that one up. But
and as a group of sauce-blooded Guidos, second generation from Italy, we and as a matter of fact, we are the offended parties here.
Absolutely, we're the offended parties.
Didn't he end up getting shineboxed himself?
Well, yeah. If you recall, Tommy told I forget his name now. Told the guys, "You keep him here. You keep him. Don't let him leave." And then after Billy Batts is getting drunk and his party was winding down, they snuck in and cold cocked him and just beat the crap out of him. They threw him in the trunk, and then they were taking him out to let's call it the Meadowlands, and they heard banging on the trunk, and they're like, "What's that?" And then he stopped over at Tommy's mom, and she made it. What do you got to? You got to eat something. And he said, Tommy said, "I need to borrow a knife, Mom. I gotta cut up the paw from a deer." So
It's
we
stuck
hit
in
a
the
deer.
grill.
Yeah. So then he pulled back over after they got in the car and just repeatedly stabbed Billy until he was expired.
Until he stopped making noise. Yeah.
He stopped. The bad guy stopped doing the bad stuff. And one thing about knives is they don't run out of ammo, so that's pretty cool. But so that's it. That's where the name came from.
All joking aside, I am not Italian.
But you've played it on Italian before.
I
You
am
hung out with Italians?
I'm a direct descendant of Sigurd the Viking, and I am exceedingly white. I'm not one of these olive-skinned foreigners here. I'm a Viking, the original Americans. All right. What else?
This is Sparta!
I dropped out of homeschool, so that's part of my background. I was raised in a hidden village in New Jersey. Hard to
Literally.
find.
Yeah.
Yes, hard to find. A little piece of God's country snuggled away in communist New Jersey. Most recently, I was communications director for Kamala Harris for president.
You mean Carmela?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I got it
So
confused.
I'm looking for employment. If you know any political campaigns that need a really top-notch guy.
We'll keep that in mind.
Impressive.
Very impressive. I didn't realize you worked for Carmela.
Well,
at
it's
any
not
given time.
something.
It's not something you want to brag about.
Sorry. Yeah, it's not something I spread around a lot.
Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Yeah. Okay. I heard you're also an antenna installer. Is that true?
Well, maybe we want to let Joe Joe take that question.
Or maybe you want the soundboard now. So, if you guys that are listening out there haven't caught on, this is our intro, kind of retro trailer. We're just having some fun here. We're playing some funky sounds and just goofing around. But we are three wise men, basically all raised in the same gulag back there in Jersey. And I know a lot of people say the Jersey wasn't always that bad. Yeah, it was always.
Yeah, it was.
It was always that bad. I remember stories from this Seagirt when the police academy was under investigation. They had video, and it was actual videotape back then, I believe, of the cops doing cocaine off the desks and the trainees just messing up. Yeah, it's been New Jersey has been corrupt since Sacco and Vanzetti, since they screwed Sacco and Vanzetti and the freaking Hurricane Carter. They screwed him. They screwed everybody. Okay, I love that.
You
All
done?
right. I will also add in that I'm a Christian nationalist, and my fellow brothers here, my brothers here are also Christians, and I believe we all met in a church in New Jersey, something like 50 years ago.
In
Something
Randolph, New Jersey.
Was it Randolph? Yeah.
Randolph, yep.
Well, I wasn't going to be giving away specifics, but
Well, we're not anywhere near Randolph anymore.
No,
I don't even think that church doesn't even exist anymore.
This is true. Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Plus,
whatever.
They've already got detailed files on me, so I'm pretty sure.
I got a few sets of fingerprints floating around, but all for good stuff. So now basically I'm going to call myself the producer, and I'm down here in the Central Florida area, central, being central, and that's about as pinpoint as I'm going to get. So. It's still free DC, so far so good. We have the CFO of the state of Florida just came out today and said they're already planning on filing preemptive charges against the IRS and intrusion into small business in the state of Florida. I thought that was pretty cool. So,
yes, Joe and I look on you Floridians with envy.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Well,
and you don't pay income tax either. That's
no state tax. No state tax. So there's that, and there's a little thing that they call an automobile, and you can pack your stuff up and move anywhere you want. Still to this day in this country. So today you can. You don't need a passport or papers. So I suggest that if you want to come to a state like Florida, you pack up and you leave all your cares behind. That sounds like a song. But if you want to come down here and bring your liberal woke crap with you, stay where you are. But no. I'm not referring to you guys.
They'll feed you to the alligators.
Yeah.
Down there.
So, but that's the story. I know it's vague and I don't think anybody wants to get too into it.
Well, why don't we just tell about some of our interests? You talked a little bit. We like, as far as the podcast goes, we're interested in culture and politics, but we're also going to do some stuff on whiskey and cigars.
True. Yeah. If you the thumbnails on the site, on the YouTube site, and by the way, we are putting some of this stuff on YouTube. You can find it. It's just Shinebox. I know it's popular, the name, so it's a little difficult to find, but you can also contact us at shineboxconnect@gmail.com. That's a direct email, or leave comments if you catch us on the YouTubes. So yeah, as Paul was saying on that thumbnail, uh, there's a picture of harmonica. Obviously, I'm a blues guy. Played the harmonica a little bit in a band for a while. There's the beer up there, the ammo signifying the guns and the fun, and I believe there's a 4-inch platform high heel too. So you can read anything you want into that. So,
You don't have an airplane on the
I don't.
leader
I
there.
don't. I
We
don't
do
have
have a pilot, so we're going to have to add an airplane in
We
there
can
somewhere.
edit it. We can edit. Well, it won't be an airplane. It'll be a propeller. It'll be something to
There you go.
indicate that there's there's some sort of fixed wing, a flight enthusiast. So and anything other than that, we will do. I don't think Joe's going to participate in the cigar feature episodes because, well, he doesn't smoke cigars. So, and it wouldn't be fair if I said, "This is really good. What do you think?" Yeah. So, but other than that, here's an interesting anecdote that's also going to give you a little bit of background from me. I've been ducking the National Rifle Association's calls. So finally, I was at work today and I took the call. I figured, what the heck? I didn't know what it was about. They never called me. So the guy introduces himself and goes into his spiel. He's with the NRA. Biden's a scumbag. He wants to take all your guns. And I'm letting him go. And I felt sorry for the guy. He's got a job to do. So I said, whoa, hold on a second there, fella. Before you continue, I just want to save you some time and just let you know that I'm an NRA certified pistol instructor, a range safety officer, a grassroots organizer, and a NRA recruiter. So I really don't know why you have your number, or rather my number, on your dial-matic, because I'm pretty much up to my eyeballs in participation. He continued. He just
kept reading the script, right?
Kept reading the script, and I told him again. I said, I'm not. I know we got a bad connection. I was trying to be polite. I like the NRA, and I told him. I said, did you not hear what I just said? So I said, and then he wanted me to sign up for 5 years. And to be honest with you, I participate like what I just said. I don't have a membership to the NRA. We talked about this before. There's 2 branches, the training branch and the political branch. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But that's some of my background and expertise.
Which is another way of saying, yeah, we will be talking about guns and marksmanship and gun safety and, how to do things in the coming possible unrest, how to take care of yourself, your family, preparations to make.
And by the way, without stepping into some gray trap area that Christopher Wray would think you would want to be in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's we were just talking about that with Joe right before. That, like we were commenting about last night, it was a built-in feature when they raided Trump. The built-in talking points were already produced, and they released those talking points quicker than you could say Jack Robinson. In other words, as soon as the FBI breaks the law and basically slaps the face of 2/3 of the country, the FBI comes out and says, "Oh, we're receiving threats."
Yeah.
Well, in the good old days, if you were a cop during training, you got trained to accept threats. That's your job. And I'm not condoning it. But when the justices were threatened, when there was a possible assassination attempt, when Sinema was in the bathroom and she was followed in, everybody on the left said that's part of the job. Even Biden came out and said, well, it's not great, but they're going to have to suck it up. That's part of the job.
Well, you're raising your hand. Look at Paul.
Because I'm wondering, are you going to clip off like the intro part of this and make some further stuff? That I was raising my hand to put a pause in, basically.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm just going to cut out the crap in the middle until I made a formal start and kind of wrap it all together.
Okay. I just wanted to make a comment about what you were just talking about with the FBI.
Wait. Stop a second. Okay. That makes it easier for me.
All right. As far as the FBI is concerned, they're really, they're running amok. They're breaking the law. They're making their own rules as they go. And there's not a damn thing that we can do about it as long as this administration is in power. They're just going to continue to do it. Until we get them out of power, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, you know what? I can't disagree, but here's a bit of irony. They did this the entire time when Trump was in office, when we had so-called power.
They've been doing this since freaking Jimmy Carter was in office.
They've been doing this since Hoover wore a dress. So
Come on, it's just it's getting to the point now where it's so obscene in your face. You're like, oh my god, really? Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's a good.
And they don't care.
That's a good point. It's like they know how obvious it is, and they don't care.
They don't care.
That's disturbing.
Yes.
It used to be that they would go to great lengths to obfuscate and
hide
make things vague. Now it's right in your face, and they just don't care.
But there's a reason. There's a reason for that. It's psychological too. There's a reason. Well, I'll bait the hook here.
Yeah.
If you do something with impunity and you just don't care, and I know it's almost rhetorical, but why would you do something like that? Why would the federal government
condition you?
Well, yeah, that not only that, but it's because they know what you just said previously. They know there's no consequences. There hasn't been any. Jim Comey is making his retirement money on a book he wrote when he should be in federal prison.
It's also a conditioning. They're conditioning people to. They keep doing it and doing it. It's the norm. This is the way it's supposed to be. No, it's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's absolutely insane. And they won't give. Never mind. It's just makes me.
Oh,
sick.
Never mind. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Well, they won't. I mean, look at what they did with the election. That was right in your face.
Yeah. And God forbid you question it. You question it. You're a racist, a white supremacist.
Yeah. Well, that was all staged as well. Yeah.
I was just going to say that it's kind of like what we do. We come off like we're just three guys, and we just hook up some equipment and we start talking. I hate to break the news to you, but we have a plan when we do this, and however it comes off, it comes off. But the point is, everything they've done, these are evil scumbags, but they're not necessarily stupid evil scumbags.
Correct.
Now, Carmela Harris, she's just a stupid scumbag, but that's beside the point. But they have all this stuff planned out, letter by letter, page by page, bullet point by bullet point. And if this doesn't tie, we're never not going to talk about Operation Mockingbird because it's in your face all the time. The difference is they don't care anymore because they don't have to care anymore. The only time it's going to stop, literally, somebody would have to get in office and fire everybody from the NEA, from boards to councils to support staff. The entire organization would have to go and be restarted.
It's worse than that. The CIA and the NSA would have to be kneecapped, gutted, something. Yeah. And the thing is, the people who've been doing this would have to be punished, and that's a problem because they typically are not.
Yes and no. Yeah. Ordinarily, they would have to be. I would. I don't know if I want to put this on and document this. I might be okay with the fact that they just no longer existed in government. The problem with that is some of these people have security clearance and connections in perpetuity, which is bad.
Yeah. No, they have to be at the least locked up.
Did you hear Dan Bongino talking about the FBI just recently within the last couple of days? His commentary.
I think I've seen a couple of clips. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was brutal on them. I mean, he was a federal agent.
Yeah.
And he's totally disgusted, and he thinks that when Republicans get back in power, and I believe it also, they need to clean house. They need to fire everybody, and anybody that was even involved, even the rank and file that are doing what they're supposedly following orders. You don't follow orders that are wrong. They need to be eliminated also. When I say eliminated, I mean fired.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, FBI itself should be disbanded.
Oh, the corruption is just overbearing.
It was a temporary agency. There's no need for it.
Well, we have state police
Yes,
in most
right.
states anyway.
And
States
we got
can
marshals, we got sheriffs, we got plenty of other.
We don't need a federal police department. Absolutely not.
It's all part of the plan.
They're never. I mean, what they really got to do is, and you hear this, you hear about the deep state, but it's a real thing, and the deep state goes so deep that the people that you think that are good Republicans are part of it, and there will never. It's going to be. It's almost impossible to get rid of it all. I mean, you're talking about something that's been established over years and years. You just don't dismantle it overnight.
Everybody's got a price. Didn't we talk about that last week or over the course of the week?
Yeah, everybody's got a price. Everybody can be bought. Paul, you can be bought. Jimmy, you can be bought, even though you told me you can't. Guarantee I got it. I got a number. I got a number that will buy you.
How do you know it's money?
That's what I mean. It doesn't have to be money. Yeah. You think about it. We're only on this earth for a short amount of time, and if somebody gives you the right package that's going to make your life the way you want it, you'll sell out.
Well, I'll tell you, like we talked about, finish inspectors, electrical engineering inspector, whatever you want to call them. This is a Jersey story. Whatever they were making back when it was doing that, you give them enough money to cover their salary in cash, and they give you all the green stickers you want. And if that lingo is not hip to people out there, green stickers are good. If you're doing a construction, you get green stickers. That's good. You can keep building. Every one of them I knew was paid off, and we ain't talking about big money.
It's still happening today, Jim. I'm in the construction business. Happening today.
So, and that's on a low level. Could you imagine somebody saying, "Well, look, we've said this all the time, or forever." Somebody who takes a job making $168,000 a year, goes in 4 years later, they're millionaires. If that happened to any one of us, they'd have the Rico wax stuffed up our asses. That's impossible. It's mathematically impossible. So, now where does all the donor money go? I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't know if anybody agrees with me or disagrees with me, but this is it. I don't donate to politicians.
No.
If you need my money to get a vote, we got bigger problems. And everybody says, "Oh, that election is going to cost $50 million. That's $100 million election." There's a problem if that much money's getting thrown around. While I got to listen to I said this last week, I got to listen to a commercial on the radio about some kid starving in the United States, and you're telling me about $100 million campaign to get a freaking mayor seat?
Yeah.
If that's not corrupt, then we all just need to freaking go live in Costa Rica.
Look at the Durr that took Sweeney's spot in New Jersey.
Yeah,
the man had no money for a campaign. Nothing.
Yeah, now and he's probably still doesn't because he's probably an honest schmo.
And he took Sweeney's spot, man. I mean, blindsided him. Oh man,
well,
that's just crazy.
There's the key. He blindsided him. That doesn't normally happen. That's why it was such a big story.
Yeah. Well, that's just like little Sandy Cortez. She primaried the incumbent that was, the old white guy that was sitting there for years.
That's true, but she had a lot of money behind her.
Well, didn't you tell me that she had to audition for that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For that part. I didn't even think about that.
That's exactly.
Yeah, the DSA held auditions for a challenger for that slot, and they're probably funded by just insert scumbag. Yeah, group or individual X.
And they were apparently that day they were looking for a set of teeth, and she showed up
in googly eyes
and a nice pair of socialist titties.
Yeah, and she's just I don't know, very unappealing individual. And then she talks.
Yeah,
and then it just all goes downhill from there.
It amazes me how stupid she is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: there are a lot of formerly serious people who are suggesting her for a presidential run.
It's just stop.
It's insane.
I am not even joking, man.
Yeah, I've heard it.
that tells you how far the cancer has spread.
As a president, I heard you couldn't even make a gin and tonic. I don't know, So, but when she was bartending it, she's basically that's still what she is. You know how many bills she signed? She's
I don't.
Wait. Go back to the. She could
Zero.
make a gin and
Zero.
What did she have to do? Look in a book to see what the ingredients are for a gin and tonic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go in there and ask for a Virgin Shirley Temple. You really blow her mind. So, I mean, the girl is. But I always say this about that. I don't really blame her because she just, she did what she did. I blame the freaking moron. If she's an idiot, what kind of a freaking low IQ do you have to be to elect her?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be sub freaking 80.
They listen. She's a pawn. Okay, she's just like Biden.
We might call her a pawn star.
She's a stick figure. They put her in the position. She's not pulling the strings. I mean, she might say some stupid stuff, and she gets, she says a lot of stupid stuff, and they probably cringe. But she's got handlers that use her power.
Absolutely. Do you know she thinks everything comes out of her mouth is freaking profound, though? I bet you. I bet you she thinks she is it. Because she's the classic case. By the way, she wasn't born in freaking Queens or Bronx, whatever. She's a freaking she's a trust fund baby, and she thinks everything she says are pearls, because she got bounced on daddy's knee all her life. They pat her on the top of the head.
So
good girl.
Where'd her money come from? Do you know?
Family money, and then all of a sudden she gets a job that paid. How much is it up to now? It's like 168, right?
I think it's like 183 or 184.
All right, 183.
She's bitching somehow, it's not enough. She wants a raise.
Somehow she's got all that money, and then her boyfriend winds up with $1.5 million out of the campaign fund.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
because he needs that, for traveling, and
the Federal Elections Commission sent a strongly worded email about that.
Yeah. While he walks the dog behind her, and she gets accosted by that wacky. I forget his name. That was hilarious. You see that
Alex
video?
Stein.
Yeah. He's
Jim.
There she is. The look at the butt on the Latino.
I'm starting to get the feeling that Jim just wants to date her.
Apparently, that's what she thinks.
Apparently, huh?
Oh boy. No, I'm not even going to go there. I really am not. I don't know who's going to.
What kind of shoes does she wear?
What size? Yeah. So. Senator, did you have a comment, Senator Swalwell?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Senator
Senator, is he?
Sleeps with Chinese prostitutes or Chinese spies. What does he do?
I think she was a prostitute spy.
Prostitute spy?
I think female spies are prostitutes.
Yeah, and speaking of Swalwell, the dude was trapped by a honeypot from the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
Fang Fang. How is it possible? How is it possible that she escaped the country just like Feinstein's 20-year communist spy chauffeur escaped the country, and there's been no investigation on any of these people?
Yeah. Well, they escaped the country on a blacked out freaking jet.
Yeah.
That's how they escaped the country.
No transponder.
That's how despicable it is. DC Tower, we lost the bleep. Yeah. So that's how despicable it is. But they can come back in. They just have to come into the southern border. So
right.
Yeah, they give him a bus ride and a pocket full of money anywhere you want to go. How about the bus driver? What was it? They're sending the buses to New York. Who's doing that? Oh,
the guy from Texas, Abbott, and then
the guy from Texas sending him to New York, and then the New York mayor kind of praised him and said, kudos for him. He's doing a good job.
Well, did you hear the dovetail to that story? One of the illegals with the Obama phone was calling the cops because the bus driver wouldn't drop him off in Chattanooga.
Really?
Oh, is that what? That's what that was about.
Yeah, the guy. Well, you got a lot of balls. I got the envelope. I got to Chattanooga. I got family there. Sorry about the accent, but you got to be kidding me. The itinerary was already set. They made it to Chattanooga, but this guy, by the way, who just freaking came over the border, probably had a bag of fentanyl and God knows whatever, and then he's got the nerve to use a government-issued phone to call the cops because his ride wasn't on time. I see the difference between that bus driver and me is I had to pull that machine over and kick that freaking guy right out on it, right wherever the heck I was on the highway. You're out.
You're out.
There. However you say that. Out the. You got to be good. Yeah, that made my blood boil almost as much as this fake raid.
Yeah, you know that bus driver would go to jail for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, plenty of innocent
Probably.
people in jail. Yeah. But that was unbelievable. The unbelievable audacity of illegals coming over here. Then you hear them interviewing every once in a while. Thanks, Joe Biden. Thanks, Jose.
I mean, they were invited. You know, we've got NGOs down there gathering them together, giving them money, facilitating transportation, giving them handbooks on how to access government benefits once they get in country. All this stuff, you know my opinion. The country is finished. We don't have 10 years left. But
well, I got to tell you, if a country of your choice, fill in the blank. I like Costa Rica, so I'll use Costa Rica. If they said, if the Presidente down there said, "Oh, we're not closing our borders to Americans," by the way, you don't even have to speak Spanish if you come down here. But when you come down here, we're going to give. I don't know what their currency is, but I'm just going to make stuff up so you guys could send hate mail later. You come down here, we'll give you 100,000 pesos, and come on down, stay at the beach, and we'll give you a free whatever the frig you want,
give me an RV parked out on the beach, good fishing.
And a moped with a gas card, with a government gas card, and just come on down, and just if you could make it from wherever you live across the down Central America, come on down. I'd go. Just saying.
Yeah, we go out to the local airport and jack a twin and fly low.
Yeah, I know I could take off, but I can take it off. I don't know how about landing, but
no problem. We do a water landing and just swim in. Let the plane sink and make an artificial reef out of it.
Yeah, there you go. Artificial reef. Now the cycle of life. Now if people got a place to fish.
I have to do all the big thinking around here. All we got to do is gain a little altitude and make sure we got a few parachutes with us.
What's going on here?
Yeah, altitude. Like I said, I could take off. Just the landing I got a problem with. But
I'll take care of the landing. No problem.
But that's it's amazing. It's amazing, and that's just stuff just picked up off the freaking TV and radio today. God knows what if we.
There's all kinds of stuff. You heard about Trump and his passports?
Oh yeah. I will say
they took his passports.
I will say
because they don't want him to travel.
Some news media was saying that they confiscated his passports. I think, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. I think the passports were taken in mass, and I'm not defending the scumbags that went in there and did the raid. They just gathered up stuff and took it, and they probably got a couple of pair of Melania's rather expensive undergarments, I would imagine too. But you'll probably get to buy it on eBay in a couple of months. But my point is, Trump doesn't need a passport to travel. He can go anywhere.
No, I understand that. Yeah,
I was just going to ask you that he doesn't need a passport to go into another country.
Well,
he's a billionaire, dude.
Yeah, technically he does, but he, you know as well as I do.
And
I'm going to reach out and say, I bet you, and I don't know this for certainty, but I bet you that his assigned team, his Secret Service team, are pretty tight. That's just my guess because.
And they probably have all. He probably has more than one passport. They probably have copies for him anyway.
But yeah, I think that was a little weird. But we're finding out a lot of stuff that half the stuff that was taken was attorney-client
although
privileged.
Joe, going to Jim's point, people like that don't have to show a passport when they land in a country. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
We have to because we're nobodies. Trump doesn't have to show a passport anywhere he goes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And of course, to sum up the obvious, that apparently the low information, low IQ left refuses to believe. Why would he wait for 18 months after he's out of office to do anything when he had the seat, the best seat in the freaking theater? He could have done anything, sold anything, made a deal with anybody he wanted. Why would he wait?
That's
Well,
how
because when he had that seat, he was actually working.
Yeah.
Did the man take it? Did he ever take a vacation? When he played golf on the weekend sometimes.
Well, because he owns a golf course or two,
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Biden took a
seven.
successful ride down the beach on a bicycle. So
He didn't fall down and
Yeah, I
break
think
his
they
neck.
moved him out to the beach for the softer landing.
So he probably crashed quite a few times, but they were a little smarter with the camera crew this time.
The Australian news channel there was really beating him up hard.
Yeah. Well, there was a good meme out there. You know that Nancy Pelosi meme where she was kneeling with the African outfit on a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Well, they have her kneeling at the spot where Joe Biden crashed his bike.
Have you seen it? People are going there and taking selfies, like laying on the pavement.
Yeah, it's pinned for sure. Yeah, because this is where the president. I mean, he didn't crash; he freaking fell over.
Yeah. He just toppled. He just toppled over.
Yeah. When you're sitting at a stop with 2 feet on the ground and you're on a bicycle and gravity takes over, I don't really think I want that guy in charge. And I'll say the well overused cliche. I don't think I want that guy in charge of the nuclear codes. And I'll say something else while I'm on that topic. Nuclear codes aren't written down on paper.
And they're also changed constantly.
Yeah. Jeez, oh man. And there's a couple other points about Trump had secret documents. You know how you get a piece of paper, a secret document piece of paper? You got to go in a skiff. I mean, even if he's the president, but he didn't have to go in a skiff like Sandy Burglar and shove stuff down his pants. All he had to do is grab the paper, and the implied declassification, number one, took place. Number two, he could declassify or classify at will. So anyway.
Yeah, people don't understand this.
I guess we're beating a dead horse, but I like to beat dead horses until I get the last whinny out of them.
Yeah. Going back a little bit to the Mockingbird that you mentioned, are you familiar with the NBC CIA relationship? Because I've heard it mentioned a couple of times.
Yeah, that was one of the originals.
Yeah, I maybe I'll look into that a little further. A guy that I follow mentioned it a couple of times. Apparently, Glenn Greenwald, who I'm not particularly a fan of, because he's on the left, but he seems to be somewhat honest. Apparently, he did a bit on their relationship, and they trot the one guy out, Ken Delanian, to sort of seed the narrative. You know what I mean? So I'd like to look into that a little bit.
Yeah. I think we could do. Yeah, we could definitely dig more into that. Because we did a cursory on it, and we really didn't get any feedback one way or another. I did plaster some of that stuff on Truth, because it's a topic that keeps coming up. So I think is like anti-whiteism. The more that's put out there, the more it's going to catch on. It's like anything else. I mean, granted, it's a type of propaganda, but all propaganda isn't bad. So.
Right. I mean, propaganda is actually necessary for a cohesive society, but not when you have demons creating the propaganda.
Well, when you have stock lies, perpetuated throughout an organized fifth pillar of society vis-a-vis the media, that's not the kind of propaganda we need to get involved with. Every commercial you see on TV is propaganda, let's face it. but
Yeah.
it's not all. And if you want to lie about the cat food you're selling, whatever. I don't have a cat, but whatever. But if you want to lie about major political instances that's going to affect the outcome of an election, well, that's a problem. So anyway, guys, we got into a little deeper than we had planned. It was just going to be an intro trailer. But there you have it. Anybody want to wrap it up?
Well, I welcome all of our new listeners, and stay tuned. We got a lot of exciting topics to cover going forward. And Jim, that email?
It is
anybody
Shine.
Who wants to,
yep, it is
for anybody
Shinebox.
who wants to give us a comment or show suggestion.
ShineboxConnect, all one word, at gmail.com. ShineboxConnect at gmail.com.
Or if you're listening on YouTube, you can leave a comment.
Yep. We'll hopefully start putting these out at the same time, depending on how hard the edit's going to be. So, Joe, you got anything to follow up on?
Yes, if there's any bourbon suppliers out there that would like to send us some bourbon, get us our contact information.
Well, not just bourbon, but cigars, Second Amendment related material that you want us to put through the paces and give a comment on. All these things we are more than willing to try and help promote your brand.
And Scotch.
I'm talking to you, Faxon 8.6 Blackout.
Okay. There's a shout out for you.
You want to have a quick discussion on that while we're talking about it?
Am I going to learn anything new?
No, you're not going to. But I'm just going to tell you, it doesn't work. Okay. If there's anybody out there that can prove me wrong, prove me wrong. It doesn't work. That's all I got to say about that.
You're talking about Viagra?
No, that. What is it, Paul? What's it? What is it? 8.6 or something?
8.6 Blackout. Yeah.
8.6 blackout with a 1 in 3 twist. It's a 1 in 3 twist is impossible. I don't see it happening.
1 in 3 twist. Now we're going to start getting tactical, and we probably shouldn't get into that, but we need to put a pin in it because that's pretty cool. But I'd like to just say, in my addition to that, I'm a firm believer in the 223, and if you want to jump or deviate, to jump to a 30 cal. That's my humble opinion. And if we have a full-on conversation like that, I will bring the ballistics. Although I'm a handgun guy, but I can rummage up some long gun statistics. And
by the way, Jim, when you asked me about that, it's actually a 338 caliber, not a 283.
Okay, so it is. Oh,
yeah, it's a 338.
See, that's different.
It's a necked up Creedmoor, 6.5 or 6.5 Creedmoor. But it's approximately a necked up 6.5 Creedmoor but it shoots through a barrel that's a 1 in 3 twist.
So it's not a rocket ship. What's the velocity?
How what's the velocity?
Yeah.
If it's subsonic, it's got to be what, 1100 or something? Or
it's got to be 850 or under to be subsonic.
850 or whatever.
Subsonic is a little bit higher than you'd think. It's over 1,000.
I didn't think so.
Let's just say for a fact. Let's just say it's 1,000 feet per second, right? How do you push a 338 bullet through a barrel that twists 1 time in 3 inches? It's impossible. Impossible. Prove me wrong.
All right, we'll have a show on that. That's interesting. I'm still impressed that it's a 338.
Yeah, my interest in it is the ability to hunt hogs at a longer distance, say 500-600 yards. Subsonic.
Yeah, I get it.
Silenced.
I use a knife, so that really doesn't. Doesn't.
You're one of them.
Objects traveling in dry air of a temperature of 68 F at sea level, 1126 feet per second.
Mm-hmm. And I can thrust my 9-inch Gerber into the head of the pig at approximately 30 feet per second at a 6-foot
Right,
range.
but I got a 600-yard head start if the hog's buddies get angry and start coming after me.
Which is good because
I doubt that cartridge can go 600 yards.
Okay, we're gonna cut it. We're ending that right now, and don't forget.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
And that's who we are.
Damn right.